Hello and welcome to the Veterans Day Parade, National Veterans Day in Birmingham, Alabama. You are looking at Matt Stevens, my co-anchor for 5 years.
And Karen.
And I'm Karen Day. And we are very happy you're here with us today. And what you hear going on is the Birmingham Police Department, the motorcycle elite troops. I know I sound like I'm shouting and it doesn't sound like it to you, but
they are loud in the background.
They are loud in the background.
And they'll come around and they'll do some circles and show us what they can do on those motorcycles, which I could not do with a motorcycle half that size. So
no.
Those are some powerful bikes they've got.
That's true. The figure eights are pretty righteous.
Absolutely.
And they're doing it right outside the Greyhound station here on 19th Street in downtown Birmingham. Just like the last 2 years, it rained again. It's kind of stopped, but we don't know. We're getting better and better.
We're getting better at doing parades in the mist. And it's a Veterans Day parade. So
yes.
Every veteran is familiar with doing something outside in the rain. So I think it kind of adds to the experience.
I'll go with that. Well, there is a route that we usually take. And it's a traditional route, but this year they shortened it by 2 streets, one in each direction. So it's a little bit shorter than years past, which is probably good because it's such a rainy day. So the way it works is that we start out by Alabama Power and head down 18th Street. There's pretty things. I kind of am a mental block about discussing all the beauty of Birmingham on a day like today.
Absolutely. There's actually 3 weddings taking place today this morning.
5.
It's updated since yesterday.
Plus
5 weddings along the parade route.
And 1 in Springville.
Oh, wow.
And so you're seeing that we turn and we head on 4th Avenue North down to 22nd Street and hang a right and go back north again. And then it starts to get really pretty because when you turn left on 6th, you get to go past Tutwiler Hotel. You get to see the Cathedral of the Advent. You get to see a lot of big, tall buildings, the only ones we have.
Yes.
And then you turn right on 19th Street, and that is what we have now.
And that is where we are now,
yes.
at the review stand in front of City Hall, as we see the first entrance coming across now.
And we are looking at the Ramsey International Baccalaureate High School Band and the Color Guard. And in a moment, you're going to see Lyric Haskins sing our national anthem. In the background, you hear our dear Mike Oakley, who is talking to the crowds here on the street. We're talking to you at home and abroad. So there we have Lyric Haskins of Briarwood High School. He's a junior.
Yes, he's also a member of the Chinese National Honor Society. He's an active member of Cross Point Church in Trussville. And like you said, he's a junior.
Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, on so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Big hand for Lyric Haskins of Briarwood High School.
Outstanding job. As we watch the colors retire and the parade resume.
And we are now looking at the Raymond Weeks family. Raymond Weeks of Birmingham, Alabama, is the one who decided it was time to go from Armistice Day to full-on Veterans Day. Armistice Day, for many years, they'd been celebrating the
End of World War I.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now they want to do, we'd had a few wars since then. And
1947.
a lot
Right.
more veterans.
Yes.
And so this is his family. They carry on the tradition. And there's a little memorial in the park, Lynn Park, around the corner. So
Instrumental in both creating National Veterans Day and having it established here in Birmingham.
yes. Oh my goodness, look at the size. Ramsey, JROTC. Ramsey is that, well, they're saying is that we strive to be the #1 band through hard work, dedication, and pride.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the ROTC, we're going to see a lot of those today. These are reserve or junior reserve officer training candidates. So this is a way that if you are interested in learning about military leadership or considering a career in the military, then you can join an ROTC at a high school. And they do a lot of things not only for themselves but for the community. One of the best is that they help intentionally train these young men and women on how to take the entrance exam for the United States military. So the cadets that you see before you are very well trained to be able to enter the military should they choose to outside of high school or go on to college and go into the training corps there.
And so that is Ramsey, one of the original, I believe it's 19 Birmingham high schools.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And coming up now, we have Shades Valley High School, Marine Corps, JROTC.
Headed up by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Whaley and Cadet Sergeant Major Clayton Garrison. The
Yes.
Shades Valley High School Marine Corps ROTC is a signature leadership academy within the Jefferson County Board of Education.
Say that fast.
Yeah, I tried. Our cadets are from the Shades Valley High School and Clay Chalkville High School. They focus on leadership, patriotism, and citizenship. Semper Fidelis, always faithful, the motto of the Marine Corps. And these cadets are clearly on display. We've got our sword-carrying members. You know, I have a sword. I have a sword from the Marine Corps. Yeah.
Do you keep it?
I do not.
You don't?
It is
It's
in the
not at
closet
reach?
somewhere. No, it's far too expensive for me to play with. But
In so many ways.
yes.
Well, I'm very excited because who we have coming up next is the Parade Marshal, Grand Marshal, and he is Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris. He has a Medal of Honor. I'll let Matt tell you about the Medal of Honor in a little while, but he is our Veteran of the Year, and he is our Parade Grand Marshal for today. But he was serving in Vietnam.
And while serving in Vietnam, Staff Sergeant Morris charged forward into withering enemy fire with only his men's suppressive fire as cover, while enemy machine gun emplacements continuously directed strafing fusillades against him. Staff Sergeant Morris destroyed the positions with hand grenades and continued his assault, ultimately eliminating 4 bunkers by himself. Upon reaching the bunker nearest the fallen team commander he was sent to retrieve, Staff Sergeant Morris repulsed the enemy, retrieved his comrade, and began the arduous trek back to friendly lines. He was wounded 3 times during that event, and he is one of our Medal of Honor recipients and, of course, the Grand Marshal of today's parade.
Yes, and we urge you to Google Melvin Morris Medal of Honor. And so next we have the Birmingham City Councilor, J.T. Moore.
Representing District 4, wishes everyone a happy Veterans Day.
Always.
And now we see Jefferson County Commissioner Sheila Tyson. And she was actually an Army veteran as well, so dual purpose here.
Yes.
But veterans riding in the Veterans Day Parade is what we want to see.
And just like back then, she gets things done now, and we appreciate her. My
now we
goodness,
got-
what year is that car?
I don't know, but I believe that is Jefferson County Sheriff Mark Petway.
Another fantastic, he's the sheriff of Jefferson County. And he started out in the very, very beginning, as low as you could start, and worked his way
up
all
over
the way
years.
up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some support vehicles for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Their SWAT vehicle.
Oh my goodness. I'd hate to see that coming.
And now we've got Miss Alabama, Miss 2023, Brianna Burrell.
Isn't she pretty? Girls in the South always are, you know.
Absolutely. Miss Burrell is from Mobile and a graduate of the University of South Alabama, where she majored in political science. Her community service initiative is Save a STEM, which encourages engagement in science, technology, engineering, and math for students of color and underfunded schools. She was also at the banquet last night. Every year there is a National Veterans Day banquet, and she did a beautiful rendition of the national anthem for the banquet last night. So she has an amazing singing voice.
I do wish I could have heard it.
Now up next we have Miss Senior Alabama Pageant winner for 2023.
Oh my goodness, she looks like a snow queen.
This is
a good look for
Pauline
today.
Vaughn Murphy is from Birmingham, and at the age of 70 enjoys hula hooping. The goal of Miss Senior Alabama is to inspire women ages 60 and above to share their passion, try new things, and encourage women to remember that they do have purpose and assist in connecting with their community. Remember, it's never too late to pursue your interests and dare to dream. And it's nice that our pageant winners this year did decide to go with the open car. It's not raining that much. We've just got a little bit of a mist going on, and so they are enjoying themselves as much as we are. Up next is Miss Senior Jefferson County, Miss Barbara High.
Miss Super Senior of Alabama.
And Miss Barbara High actually has a career background of over 25 years in education. She's been a teacher, a principal, and an adjunct professor. Looking every much the part of a beauty queen today. No umbrella for her.
And now you're looking at CSC Roofing. They, well, long story short, Mark Ryan, the president of the National Veterans Day Foundation, and Kathy Culbertson, who is also on the board, are CSC Roofing. And this float is constructed and provided by them with much appreciation to our veterans and currently active military members.
It would be hard to find one singular person that does more for the Veterans Day Parade than Mark Ryan.
Except for Kathy. Absolutely. My goodness. So we're looking at the support committee for the Alabama National.
So
oh my goodness,
patriotism in action. This year's riderless horse symbolizing the fallen warrior and making his very first appearance here is Hank. Hank is a retired military working equine from the Old Guard, where he served at Arlington National Cemetery, honoring our nation's heroes.
And here's the cool part.
Yes, go for it.
He was with the late General retired Colin Powell at his military funeral. And of course, he has the backward boots that are an ancient Greek custom indicating that his warrior will never ride again. So he is a funeral horse, and he is led by U.S. Army Chief Warrant Officer II Ray Ezel of Alabama National Guard 145th Chemical Battalion, and this is a beautiful horse.
Yes, and this is the first year that we've had a horse from Arlington National Cemetery.
And we actually have two. One is a caisson horse, and the other one is Hank. So he is now living at Compassion Ranch with Dr. David Dyson, who is the director of Compassion Ranch, and David is the historian for National Veterans Day. But there's more, there's always more.
There's always more.
Yes. So the support committee for the Alabama National Cemetery.
Pam Nichols is the chairman. The support committee for the Alabama National Cemetery exists to ensure that the sacrifices of our military veterans and their families are never forgotten.
And don't forget, this year, just like every year in December, it's the Wreaths Across America program, where a balsam wreath will be placed on each and every headstone in every national cemetery. And everyone's invited to attend to remember and honor true American heroes during the holiday season.
Membership is also open to any individual. So if you would truly like to support this great cause, certainly go online. Do a Google search for the Alabama National Cemetery Support Committee. You're able to join. Anyone can join, and it's a great cause.
And they're in Montebello.
They are.
And the Blue Star Salute Foundation, Tom Long is the president of Blue Star Salute Foundation. They honor those who have served our fallen heroes. And some of the ways they do this are being the largest fundraising group in Alabama for Wreaths Across America.
Outstanding.
Educating grade school students about the price of freedom, partnering with the governor's office to grant state honors to fallen heroes, participating in the National Veterans Day Executive Committee. We have our dear Harry Sessamon. They provide Blue Star Service banners to deploying soldiers, sailors, and airmen, and the Joel Adkins Memorial Veterans Assistant Fund. So there is a lot to the Blue Salute Foundation.
Yes, and they do take a display all over the state of Alabama to local schools and veteran events to ensure that our fallen heroes from this state are never forgotten.
And the Blue Star Mothers of Greater Birmingham are here today.
The Blue Star Mothers are mothers, stepmothers, grandmothers, foster mothers, and even female legal guardians who have children serving in the military, guard, or reserves, or have children who are veterans. We have nearly 6,000 members from over 200 chapters throughout the nation of Blue Star Mothers.
And so we have Blue Star Mothers, the Blue Star. But the Gold Star Wives of America, they were chartered in 1945 to support the spouses and children of those who had lost their lives while serving in the armed forces of the United States. And a Gold Star spouse is a husband or wife whose spouse has passed away while serving in the U.S. military. It takes a lot.
It does.
It takes a lot. They need a lot of support. No one knows until they've been there. So there's nothing like being able to reach out to people who know what you're going through.
Yes, and the Gold Star Wives were actually chartered by Congress in 1945 to provide support for spouses and children who lost their lives while serving in the armed forces.
Ladies, thank you for your sacrifice.
And now we are looking at the American Red Cross.
Every day, the American Red Cross provides 24/7 global emergency communication services and other support in military and veteran healthcare facilities across the country and across the world. The American Red Cross Hero Care Network enables us to provide critical care services to military members, veterans, and their families all over the world. They can access these needs through Red Cross by downloading the free Red Cross Hero Care app. They also provide a very important service called the Red Cross Message. When you're deployed, when you're overseas, there's not a lot of good communication, even in 2023 when we have iPhones and cell phones.
Right.
But rest assured, if you need a message gotten to you, the American Red Cross will get it to you.
Absolutely. And they have an app. Everybody has an app. And coming up next, we have the High Flyers Drill Team. They're from the University of Alabama Air Force ROTC. They are led by Cadet 3rd Class Naomi Lisko and Cadet 3rd Class Noah Ogle. And I believe we get to watch just a little bit of them.
They are popping sticks, as it's known, and they're doing it quite efficiently. Manual arms of a rifle is not an easy thing to learn, and it's a very difficult thing to master, and they are certainly doing their very level best and doing an outstanding job. Right behind them, we have the American Legion Department Commander,
Freddie H.E. Jones.
Department Sergeant at Arms, the Alabama Chapter 171 Director. The American Legion is the world's largest veterans organization, and we'll see a lot of American Legion out here today. Their membership stands at nearly 2 million in more than 13,000 posts worldwide.
And we're going to see Ron Bradstreet. Right now we're still looking, we got Freddie Jones, but our friend Ron Bradstreet is coming up momentarily, and he's a National Executive Committeeman, and he is well known in the Birmingham area for all he does. There he is, Ron Bradstreet, Department of Alabama.
The American Legion provides just a wealth of resources to the veteran community. Among some of the things that they do is hold annual veterans retreats, particularly for those that are coming back from overseas service. A retreat can be a very, very positive experience. So every year, American Legions around the country hold retreats for veterans, you know, to go and be with nature or go to the beach or do something that they can actually enjoy for a change and you know, reintroduce them. Exactly. Get them back into the ways of the civilian world.
I can imagine that would be kind of strange. How long did it take you to settle back in?
It's a continual process. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I did 2 tours in Iraq, so it's an ongoing process. We've got American Legion Post 171, the B.W. Howell Post, Post Commander L. Thomas, Unit President Elia Porter, and the Commander Cedric Dixon, Junior Leadership Group Commander Mackay Porter.
He was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor in 1967. He served with honor in the 1st Infantry Division in the Republic of Vietnam. It's proud. Post 267.
So more about the American Legion. You know, a lot of American Legions actually have baseball teams that they sponsor, Boy Scout troops that they sponsor. There are over 75 scholarships handed out just in the state of Alabama alone from the American Legion. So yeah, they're very well, over 75. It's actually closer to 100.
That's a lot.
It is. A lot of those go to Troy. So Troy is very involved in getting.
Troy actually does work very hard to make sure that the veterans are able to pick back up where they left off and get the education that they're looking for. And we have Commander Malachi Porter of the 171 Squadron, Sons of the American Legion.
From Fairfield, Alabama, American Legion, Post 131, Sons of the American Legion.
Oh my goodness, look who we have here. This is American Legion Post 137 from Fairfield, the Sons of American Legion, Squadron 137, and somebody just hit the gas. I hope they don't run over our gimbal.
They're getting a fun ride today.
The cost of our freedom is, they say freedom is not free, and that is exactly what this float is trying to demonstrate to us.
And obviously, as you see here, unfortunately, not all of our veterans are able to make it back to their families, and the cost of our freedom is very high, and this float stands to demonstrate that so that people understand that not everyone makes it back.
Right. And we have American Legion Post 911.
Ginger Branson is the adjutant, and the American Legion Alabama National, or the Legion Alabama Veteran of the Year for 2022. Now we've got the American Legion Matthew Leonard Post 267. Sergeant First Class Matthew Leonard was a native of Alabama who died in battle fighting for the good of our country. Awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor on 28 February 1967. Sergeant First Class Leonard served with honor in the 1st Infantry Division in the Republic of Vietnam. Just a wealth of services that the American Legion provides, such a strong membership, and that's why you'll see so many American Legions represented here today. They are by far the largest veteran service organization out there. And following just behind the American Legion, we have the Alabama School for the Blind.
They are our perennial favorites. The Alabama School for the Blind is...
It's a music program at the Alabama School for the Blind offers students with visual impairment a wide array of experiences in music, helping them to develop their musical skill. Students are encouraged to go beyond expectations and reach their limitless potential.
And now we're going to give it a listen. Yes, they come every year. They like coming as much as we like having them because it's an experience out in the real world. And they're one of the few that come no matter the weather.
Karen, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first year I've seen them march.
I know.
They're usually on a trailer, but they're actually doing an excellent job with keeping their timing and pacing and rhythm. That's a very good band we've got this year.
I'm not asking.
Absolutely.
That's who they are.
Yep. Oh, one of my favorite parts of the parade right here. This is the Southern Museum of Flight. And the Southern Museum of Flight brings us a very beautiful example of early aviation in the military. This is a Bell helicopter. I honestly can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you may recognize it as the MASH helicopter, and it even says MASH on the side. This was revolutionary. Prior to the development of this aircraft, it took as long as it took for you to run or drive to the nearest hospital to get the health care that you needed.
Okay.
Once they started building and using these helicopters in the Korean War, the ability to get someone the care that they needed quickly improved dramatically. It only has a crew of 1, but it has a capacity to carry 3, and that's where it cut its teeth. You would have 1 pilot go to a forward deployed area, pick up 2 injured service members, carry them on the side on the stretchers that you see on the outside of the aircraft, and they could go 100 miles an hour in a straight line, which is a lot quicker than trying to get there on foot.
You can look at the reruns of MASH, and you'll see the helicopter in the intro.
Absolutely.
And in the very last episode, it took off. And it said goodbye.
The Southern Museum of Flight is the largest civilian aviation museum in the South. Just wanted to mention that as well. Primarily held together with volunteers as well. Now we actually have a presentation from Delta Airlines. Delta presenting the flags today. Delta Airlines has been a part of the Birmingham community since 1929. We are very proud, they are very proud to participate in the National Veterans Day Parade. Delta salutes all who have served the great country and are grateful for the sacrifices they have made, including many Delta employees whose service we honor today.
And there are many Delta pilots who were previously military. Did you say that?
I did not.
Well, that's true. So they have reason to appreciate veterans because they are veterans. And I happen to know that we have a third announcer. We haven't introduced you to her yet. Her name is Melissa Fox, and she's been with us for a very long time. She has with her Mark Ryan.
I do. I've got Mark Ryan, president of the National Veterans Organization, and it's so great to have you with us. Just wanted to ask you a little bit about what you do to help make today happen for Birmingham.
Well, most people probably don't know we spend the entire year planning for this parade. And it's not the Mark Ryan parade. We have a team of great volunteers that work tirelessly at no pay, which is pretty remarkable in itself. But, I've said this 1,000 times. Our payment is waking up every morning in a free country.
Absolutely.
So, and we have nobody but thank but our God and our veterans for that. So that's pretty important.
Absolutely, it's important. We're so thankful that you took a little time to talk with us. We're going to head back to Karen and Matt.
And to the Southern Preparatory Academy. Thank you, Melissa.
Founded in 1898, the Southern Preparatory Academy is Alabama's official military secondary school and one of only 13 boys boarding military schools in the United States. The academy is located in the town of Camp Hill, Alabama, 19 miles northwest of Auburn. The academy educates boys in the 6th through 12th grade who come from across the U.S. and foreign countries. Fully accredited and boasts a 100% college acceptance rate.
Wow.
Yeah, doesn't get any better than that.
Every parent wants to hear that.
They have signature programs for flight and drone as well, which makes sense because they're situated squarely between an Army base and an Air Force base. And a strong drum line.
No kidding. You know I like that. And here we have Uncle, well, I'm jumping ahead. I see him coming.
Well, how can you not see him coming? We got Danny Cooper dressed as Uncle Sam. During the War of 1812, boxes of meat given to American soldiers were stamped with U.S. and were quickly credited to Uncle Sam. By World War I, Uncle Sam had been popularized as he appears today. Our Uncle Sam, J. Danny Cooper, is wearing a Flanders field poppy given him at this parade in 1970 by a World War I veteran. Uncle Sam appears at American Village, which is a big event here in central Alabama, local parades, and veterans hospitals, and other events.
He could come back as Santa Claus, too, you know. He's still around, you know. December coming. Oh, my goodness.
Marine Corps League Detachment Howlin' Mad Smith. Members of the Marine Corps League joined together in camaraderie and fellowship to preserve the traditions and promote the interests of the United States Marine Corps, banding together active duty and retired Marines to promote the ideas of American freedom and democracy, voluntarily aiding and rendering assistance to all Marines, Fleet Marine Force Navy Corpsmen, Fleet Marine Force Navy chaplains, and their widows and orphans to perpetuate the history of the United States Marine Corps. Following up behind them is the Dixie Division Motor Vehicles Club.
And Thurmond Marshall, that's right. Thurmond Marshall, he is our 96-year-old veteran. And the man is,
absolutely a legend.
And he is so bossy.
Well, he doesn't like being helped. He's been around for a long time. He's got it pretty well figured out. And
watch this. Watch. He's going to start pushing everybody away because he just wants to get up. I saw him get in that Jeep all by himself. No one was around.
He's been doing it for a very long time.
He has.
The Dixie Division Military Vehicles Club is an organization dedicated to the preservation, restoration, education, and display of historic military vehicles. That's one of the hands you want to shake today.
And he wants to tell about it.
Absolutely.
He does. Now watch, I promise you. He's telling somebody no.
And we see some more vehicles here from the Dixie Division. We've got some Humvees and I honestly can't remember what that thing's called. The Army uses them. Marine Corps doesn't use them, so I don't know what it is. But the Dixie Division does a lot with Toys for Tots. That's a program where various military service organizations are able to put toys in the hands of children who may otherwise not have access to that at Christmas.
Right, sad Christmas. And this is Parker High School, JROTC, under the direction of William Jackson. He is a sergeant first class retired, and Parker High School is one of the oldest public high schools in Birmingham. They opened in the fall of 1900. And it's big and beautiful, and Birmingham was only started in 1871, so it was one of the new ones.
There are over 1,600 schools today that participate in an ROTC program. Cadet enrollment has grown to over 280,000 nationwide.
Really?
Yes.
I would say that's good news for us.
It is for the future. And here we see Denise Ruffin Cassidy. This is an Army veteran who served 12 years as a sergeant. She is now retired with over 26 years of federal service.
And she felt like being in the parade today.
Veterans should be in the Veterans Day Parade. That's what
absolutely
I mean.
should.
That is the whole point, is for the people on the side to be able to wave to our veterans, show them recognition, and for our veterans to be able to wave back. Today, from the comfort of a fully enclosed air with heat vehicle.
I want to know what people think at the traffic lights when she's on her way home. It's like, well, she's feeling festive today.
Now, I believe this one is new this year,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
This
the Veterans
is
of Steel. Yes, they are the people.
The United Steelworkers President and Air Force veteran Tom Conway, who recently passed away. This float is a collaborative effort of the Veterans of Steel from 4 groups. And these are all local U.S. steelworker unions that band together. The members represent management from every branch of the military. Their goal is to be a resource for both those active duty and former, to find camaraderie, support, and a way to fight core issues that affect veterans and their families.
And the fact that they call themselves Veterans of Steel. It may be Steel, but it's also Birmingham.
Yeah, Steel is huge
sense.
in Birmingham, the
yes.
Pittsburgh of the South, right?
Yes, and Winona High School JROTC. They are the Mighty Dragons, JROTC, led by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Madison Rainey. What is that?
The Daughters of the American Revolution, founded in 1890 and headquartered in Washington, D.C., is a nonprofit, non-political volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children. The Daughters of the American Revolution members volunteer millions of service hours annually in their local communities, including support active duty military personnel and assisting veteran patients, awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships and financial aid to students each year.
And there are so many people involved in the DAR in the Birmingham area.
Absolutely. It's a massive organization.
We have the Cahaba chapter. We have the General Sumter chapter, the David Lindsay chapter, the Princess Sehoy chapter, and the Lily of the Cahaba chapter. We also have the Alabama Society Sons of American Revolution, Alabama Society Children of the American Revolution. I mean, they're all in. They're teaching children about freedom and what it looks like and how to make sure it happens.
Oh, and they look excited as well. Look, and that's what you want to see on a misty, cold day, is the excitement that a parade brings to a town.
Yes. Okay, and so while they're walking, we want very much, Melissa Fox is standing. I'm just going to hand you to her. Melissa?
Great. Hi. I've got Master Sergeant Atchison here. She's with the 117th Air Refueling Wing. And I see a beautiful symbol on your uniform, and I just wondered if you can tell us what that symbol represents.
Well, this symbol actually represents many years of training and specialties that we've had, and awards and decorations that both we've obtained personally and as a unit. So it's a pretty great honor.
We just want to make sure that we give that representation all the honor it deserves for everything you've done for us. Just going to go back and check in with Matt and Karen.
And we also want to say, I know her as Tammy, and she can put together one mean spread up in City Hall right behind us. We just want to thank her personally ourselves. And we are still hanging out with the Alabama Society Children of the American Revolution. We are actually training tomorrow's leaders to serve our country and preserve our nation's history, and they honor those who came before them and paved the way for what they have today. And this is an ongoing thing. Next, we have 3 hots and a cot. They serve the veterans of Birmingham. The hope is to give them a calm, safe, stable situation and help them move forward into a home, a place to live.
There are actually over 800 homeless veterans in the Birmingham community. 3 Hots and a Cot operates several locations around central Alabama, with more planned to help those veterans transition to a more stable environment where they can get back on their feet, not just for a short period of time, but something that's lasting.
And hopefully what you see today in this parade, there are 5 major veterans organizations.
Yep.
American Legion's the largest one on the planet.
Military Order of the Purple Heart is another one. The Military Order of the Purple Heart is a hallowed military honor that recognizes those injured in combat. So the only way that you end up with a Purple Heart is if you were a member of the United States military, went to a combat zone, and were injured as a result of enemy action or enemy fire. So it is an incredibly prestigious honor that no one really tries to obtain, but unfortunately there are a lot of them. Military Order of the Purple Heart holds regular chapter meetings throughout the country, usually within a convenient distance from the house. Chapters engage in numerous social and helpful activities centered on veterans and their family, particularly those being treated at the VA hospital, I should say. Marion Military Institute, Alabama's Military College of Leadership and Development. The 16th president of Marion Military Institute is Colonel David J. Mullahan, USMC retired. Established in 1842, it is the oldest military junior college in the nation. Leading Marion Military Corps of Cadets is a battalion commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ben Stewart from Chilton County, Alabama. Marion Military Institute's programs include service academy programs that prepare students to enter all 5 service academies, early commissioning program, officer leadership. There's a lot that they do, and they do have a good band.
And a good drum section, and a good marching section, and all those white gloves, and all of it. Melissa has, I'm going to leave it to her. We're going to just give you Melissa and tell us who you have with you today.
Fantastic. Hi, I've got Colonel David Mullahan with us. He is the president of the Marion Military Institute. Your Corps cadets are in the parade today. I just wonder if you could tell me something special about them.
Well, the Corps Cadets of Marion Military Institute is part of the Military Junior College, one of only 4 in the country. But we're also part of the Alabama Community College system. And we've been marching in this parade every year almost since the very beginning. So it's a long tradition for MMI and for our Corps of Cadets.
We're so thankful to have you as a part of this parade. You're a great part of it, and we're excited you had a little time to speak with us. We're going to head back to you, Karen.
Oh, and it was such a pleasure for me to meet him and not have to salute him as someone who is enlisted in the Marine Corps, and he's an officer in the Marine Corps. It's so pleasant to just exchange words without having to do a salute first. As we see the rest of the Marion Military Institute go by, they do have, I believe they have a silent drill team, they've got a band, they have a lot of different, there's a lot of different contingencies that they've got there, and they're widely regarded. It's almost like in the Ivy League of military schools, if you will. So they are the best of the best at their age.
And that's one of my favorite shots of the whole parade. Sometimes we get to go right down the center, and it's quite intimidating. Ooh, with all the swords. So.
Do you want me to bring my sword next year?
I don't know.
I'll bring the sword next year.
Well, if I'm behind you, perhaps, but...
It doesn't have an edge on it. It's a parade sword.
Oh, so it's just heavy.
Yes, it is heavy.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a display from their silent drill team.
Stop.
Let's see.
No.
We do not. No,
Yes?
they stopped at the end, so there we go.
Yes!
This is what
Oh
you
my
want to
gosh.
see, folks.
That's exactly what I want to see.
So
And I hate a tent on a
drill
rainy day.
alone is hard. Just getting that many people to move their feet at the same time is difficult. When you include the elements of doing what's called a bomb burst, which is what they just did, it's even more difficult.
What's
and then
a
you
bomb
consider
burst?
Bomb burst is where you go from a formation and then you explode out into a different type of formation. How they were lined up 2 by 2 and now they're lined up 4 by 4.
Okay.
And so that's difficult on its own. And what they're going to show us is some more stick popping, which is one of my favorite things because they're incredibly good at it. Outstanding performance.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. Hopefully you could pick up on some of that stick popping I was talking about, because they are a silent drill team.
Yes. And a lot is up in the air on a rainy day.
Absolutely.
We can't always tell.
Speaking of up in the air, very good segue, Karen, because next we have the 117th Air Refueling Wing, which is based right here in Birmingham at the Alabama International, or what is it, the Shuttlesworth International Airport, I believe it's called?
Birmingham Shuttlesworth, if you want to be
There we
official.
go.
But
The mission
these
of the
are
117th is to fly the KC-135 Stratotanker. So these troops and personnel are all about getting gasoline up in the air and giving it to fighter jets and other planes so that they can continue on with their mission.
Absolutely.
They
My
provide-
dad was an Air Force navigator, and he flew KC-135s.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He did. And
Wow.
KC-97s before that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So
They also provide world-class airlift, medical logistics, and intelligence support.
they're trying to explain, even though National Guard is for each state, some National Guards also have commitments to the federal government.
Yes, so the way that the National Guard works is that you belong to the governor unless you're federalized. So if the federal government needs you to support, then you could be mobilized. But unless that's the case, then you fall under the guise of the governor of your state. So along with all of the things that we've already mentioned, if there's a hurricane, if there's a tornado, if there's a large fire, these are the first people to respond. They're mobilized and they get in the trucks and they're gone, and they're there and they help. So they have a lot of different things that they do.
I'm looking for our friend Zach Goodwin, who is marching today. How many did we say we have today? 500, 700? They have 700.
If I could remember how to look at each company and tell you, but we got at least 500 easily.
Yeah. They just keep coming. I know they planned at least 500 for today. This is what you're looking at.
Yes. And these are men and women who serve on the weekends, if you will. So they're not at the military base all day, every day. A lot of them have, actually all of them have some sort of career other than what they do for the 117th.
And they are followed by the 117th Intel Squadron.
What does the Intel Squadron do?
Provide military intelligence. I honestly don't know how Mike was able to determine that just by looking at the guidon. but military intelligence means a lot of things. As it relates to the Air Force, it could just mean the position of other aircraft around and to identify threats to the unit. So that's a wide, broad description, but.
Or drones.
Yep, or drones.
And the families. I can totally relate. These are the families of the 117th Air Refueling Wing. They're the ones that make sure that they are healthy and happy and ready to go when they need to go for the weekend.
And whereas our 800 men strong 117th isn't allowed to display emotion while they're marching in a parade, their families certainly are, and we can tell that they're happy to be here today.
Yes. Especially the one carrying the wagon.
Yeah.
She's got the good stuff.
She's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's the support committee for for the families who are the support committee for the 117th. And here we just see some more of their leadership and commanders.
Yes. Okay, what's about to happen? There are several groups of horses.
And this is your favorite part of the parade, is the horses.
Every part's a favorite part.
We're
This is our friend from S&Z Farms. This is Susan Sanford. She's in Jemison, Alabama, and she wants to give a warm thank you of appreciation to all those who have given so much to keep us free. And they have all of these people have programs at their farms for people who just need to get back calm again. Perhaps they're having PTSD issues, or they're depressed, or they're trying to recover from surgery. all kinds.
Petting zoo and horse rides, I believe, right? There's a lot of
Yes.
different things that they're able to do.
Yes, and now you're looking at Sherritt Farms. Sherritt Farms. Now, I do need to say this. They have names they want us to say. James H. Sherritt Sr. from the Navy. Alfred. Ted Reed was an E-7 gunnery sergeant in the Marines. Johnny Day, Private First Class, 101 First Airborne. Coy Riggs, Junior Master Sergeant in the Army. Coy Riggs Sr. Was Special 4th Army. Eugene Chambers, I'm beginning to sound silly. Nazy, do this, Matt.
There's a lot of names in there.
No.
Sherritt Farms is
Cliff White, Billy Kroll, and Robert Allums. These are her family.
Sherritt Farms is family owned and operated since 1999. There are 4 generations with many veterans, as we just alluded to.
I'm so sorry. I did not do them justice.
The farm. They've been serving their community by offering their farm to share the non-judgmental love of animals. Sherritt Farms is where you can build trust, loyalty, worth ethics, and just enjoy the outdoors.
And now you're looking at our dear friend again, Libby Shackelford of Carousel Breeds Farms.
Carousel Breeds Farms has been in business for 35 years, teaching the love of horses and supporting veterans. They have a PTSD program at the farm. They do shoe boxes for deployed troops. And through their Shelby County 4-H program, they actually have an American flag that was flown at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad.
And leading today, you're looking at Miss Sophie Weif, W-E-I-F, and she is total rodeo royalty. She's representing the Little Boots Rodeo, which is a title that's a stepping stone to Miss Rodeo Alabama and Miss Rodeo America. And that's hard to do, very hard to do. Oh, by the way, Libby's husband, Larry Shackelford, was actually on the Seawolf.
USS Seawolf. It was a submarine. He was on that submarine from 1972 to 1975, and it was the first U.S. nuclear submarine.
Nuclear.
What did I say?
You said nuclear. I'm sorry. You pulled it. I'm just going to stop right there. I got to take it back that last 30 seconds.
The most important thing is that there's a book about the Seawolf,
Yes.
and it's called Blind Man's Bluff. You can also watch a video about it on YouTube.
Which is supposed to be pretty good. I'm so sorry, Matt. You're never going to. I'm so correct. But Carousel Breeds is a wonderful place. Oh, and we've got the scoopers. In just a moment, you're going to see the guys that get cheered for more today than the rest of the year combined.
The Colonel Robert L. Howard State Veterans Home. Veterans from World War II to present day. Every year, coming in Pell City, these veterans are so proud to be a part of the parade. There are veterans from various different times, from Yugoslavia. One of Ashley Barton of the National Children of 1812. There was a local young boy being...
Yeah, her great-uncle Norton is on that truck today.
Okay.
Yes, he was in Yugoslavia, and he was hiding. And a local had been forced to be a Nazi guide, and he locked eyes with him and
allowed him to...
didn't say a thing.
Yeah, remain
And that
hidden.
night, the Nationals came and got him. And that was pretty cool.
Yes, it is. The Colonel Robert State Veterans Home, obviously we see they've got a lot of vehicles. Sometimes these vehicles are used to transport veterans who don't have the correct ways and means to get to the health care that they need. And so that's what these veteran home vans do.
I think it brings a lot more than them to that. I think it brings them to us.
Yeah, and the state veteran homes, you know, those are kind of like a retirement community for military personnel. So they do a lot of outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we see the Birmingham VA healthcare system. Executive Director Dr. Ladi Kuyokoi. The Birmingham VA healthcare system serves over 71,000 veterans throughout North and Central Alabama. From their main facility right down the street, they operate 10 veteran outpatient clinics, have over 3,000 employees, and offer the innovative technology expected in today's advanced healthcare environment. And today, we thank their communications department for sharing the parade link far and wide among the hospitals. Big shout out to our hospitalized veterans and dependents today. We are thinking and we are hoping you're watching.
Yes. Over 100,000 subscribers were given the opportunity to watch the parade today, and not just the ones in the hospital. We really want to thank our person. We're not going to name him. We just want to thank him for caring enough to really make sure that people who can't quite get here can.
And let's
That's
take a moment
honor.
to appreciate the brilliance of this float. They built an aircraft carrier. They've built an aircraft carrier on the back of a trailer, and it looks very, very pretty.
And Mama's happy.
Yeah.
Hey there. That is good. Let's go talk with Melissa. She has somebody with her who's wearing a Proud Mom shirt, and I believe there's a story behind that. Melissa?
Yeah, can we hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, sorry for that. All right, here we go. We've got Sandy Moore with us. She's a friend of Therrell Roberts. And I just want to know, Sandy, why is it an awesome thing to be a friend of Therrell Roberts?
Well, Therrell Roberts is a World II veteran, and he's been here for over 40-plus years attending this parade. And he's just a great person to come out and recognize and not to forget about those World War II people.
And you said he was with the Navy, is that correct?
He is in the Navy.
Okay, great. Well, we're so glad that he's here. Thank you for making sure that he is a part of this parade today.
Yes.
We're going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
Well, we've got several chapters of the Vietnam Veterans of America passing by us. Obviously, these are veteran organizations that are specifically catering to the veterans that came home from Vietnam. And when I say came home from Vietnam, they still were not welcomed. It was a very politically charged time, so I've always been told that if you see a Vietnam veteran, you welcome them home because they may not have had that opportunity.
Right. Everything changed from the time they left. I mean, hemlines, religious beliefs.
Absolutely. Yeah, the invention of the bikini.
Ideas of respect. Never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. That trailer just... Is this parade taking a side street or what? Come back.
Coming up next, we have the Birmingham Vet Center. Vet
Yes.
centers provide, in a non-medical setting, a wide range of social and psychological services, including professional readjustment counseling to eligible veterans, active duty service members, including National Guard and Reserve components, and their families. The mobile vet centers continue that service to rural and underserved areas and also respond in a time of emergency for community support.
Yeah, it's not just medical. It's things that people are just having a hard time accomplishing, just trying to get it done.
And they're there.
Mm-hmm. I know this doesn't sound respectful, but it's kind of like the bookmobile.
It does look like that, but there are a lot of services that they can provide from that little van
Right,
there.
for people who can't make it.
One of our other big four that you were talking about, the Disabled American Veterans.
And that's Adjutant Hugo Perez. The DAV, like you said, one of the big five, they are keeping our promise to America's veterans. They are dedicated to a single purpose, which is empowering veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity and get where they're trying to go. Their veterans commander today is Commander Leon Grove. And we're also looking at the auxiliary commander.
And the adjutant.
Mm-hmm.
And the national commander of the auxiliary for the Disabled American Veterans is with us today.
I'm trying to figure out everybody, they're here, and then all of a sudden they gun it. I'm trying to figure out. And there's our friend, Zach. We have seen our friend from the 117th. He came back around to say hi. That is good. He's one of those that comes on the weekends from out.
Another motorcycle treat for us. The National Association of Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club Birmingham Chapter, headed up by Arthur Ice Cube Teal, president of the Birmingham Chapter.
I love the name of the guy who founded it way back when. His name was Dreammaker, Ken Dreammaker Thomas. And they've lengthened their name too. Instead of just the Buffalo Soldiers, they're the National Association of Buffalo Soldiers and Troopers Motorcycle Club. They're even initially formed in homage to the legacy of African-American military contributions in the post-Civil War era. There's a lot of that has gone undocumented. And there are currently 120 chapters throughout the U.S. and abroad, with both men and women who ride, quote, iron horses to represent the horses that were ridden in the 1800s. And they support senior citizen homes, student scholarships, food, fund drives, that sort of thing. And those are the Buffalo Soldiers.
Vietnam Veterans of America Tuscaloosa Chapter 301 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama features the Veteran of the Year, Tawana Jones and family. In the second limousine, fellow members of the Tuscaloosa Chapter 301.
And Tawana is a retired Army sergeant. She's a lifetime member. She's the first African-American female of the organization to be chosen as Veteran of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Get it, girl. Congratulations.
Another drumline percussion treat for us. We've got the Freestyle Percussion Foundation.
Yes, the All-Stars.
The Freestyle was founded in 2004 by Christopher Seltzer. Their mission is to foster holistic positivity, encourage character building, and I'm going to be quiet so you can hear them.
I think they just like to play the drums.
Well, they clearly know exactly what they're doing, but I'll also say that they enhance leadership skills amongst the youth and young adults through the utilization of music, art, and dance. They participated in the Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade, Indiana Drum and Dance Competition, where they were awarded first place, the Selma Jubilee Parade, and they've also performed at Disney World and Universal Studios.
I think I'm going to focus on the Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade. That would be so cool to do.
I bet it was colder.
Oh, you know it. Look who's coming. One of our many car clubs in the Birmingham area, Team Corvette.
Car clubs are important to the military veteran community because, of course, you want to go out and buy a nice car once you get out of the military, and a lot of people do. This is Team Corvette of Alabama, headed up by Gary Nelson, president of Team Corvette. Large Corvette club that is about showing their Corvettes, racing, and all things patriotic to America. And they want to wish us a happy Veterans Day.
Gary Nelson is one of the veterans who flew big planes.
Oh, really?
After he was out of the military.
Okay.
I can't remember what he flew for, but big ones.
Big airliners.
Yeah.
The Supreme Emblem Club of the United States of America, Joyce Allison, Supreme President of the Supreme Emblem Club of the America. Pam Gunnett is the president of the Alabama State Association of the Emblem Clubs.
And there she is, Joyce Allison. I read all up on them. They started back in 1926, and I thought, what is a Supreme Emblem Club?
Well, Emblem Club members are recognized for their charity work that they do in their communities, scholarships they provide, their dedication to patriotism, and their support of the Elks and our veterans.
So then I looked up Elks, and it is a benevolent society. It's just the language is so different from nowadays. The Eagle Wings Motorcycle Association. Danny Baker is the Alabama District Director, and they have 7 chapters in Alabama alone with over 300 members riding all kinds of motorcycles and trikes. And they want you to know that every one of the organized rides is 2-, 3-, and 4-wheel. So whatever you want to roll, they will welcome you. They're just simple, fun motorcycle club. They like to bring the joy and honor our nation's veterans. So there you go. Ah, and there goes the goodie station.
Following them up is the Mid-Alabama Corvette Club. Mid-Alabama Corvette Club is a 501(c) organization. All proceeds go to Magic Moments. Last year, they donated over $15,000.
Last year, they raised over $15,000 to help children in need.
Does everybody bring their Corvette every time they have a meeting?
United States Air Force.
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
Is it just a big show and tell once a week, or?
I wish I could show the photo to the viewers at home, but as we were at the banquet last night, my wife was parking, and she took a picture of the back of a Corvette, presumably one that'll be in the parade today, and the license plate said, "I'm a vet." Genius. A veteran in a Corvette with a license plate that says, "I'm a vet." It works two different ways.
And I'm trying to, there's another one. Never mind. Now I'm just wasting the joke. Yes, that's hilarious. And it sounds like he says a vet in a vet. There's something on his tag along those lines. And you do wonder who's speaking. Oh. The car or the driver.
It's usually the car speaking, because these cars particularly are a little bit louder than the people inside of them. And it should be said that primarily what you're seeing here are veterans. A lot of these Corvette owners are veterans themselves, because again, that's what we do. We get out and we buy nice cars.
I am a vet.
And put good license plates on them.
Pretty. Wow.
From Corvettes, we go to Leadership Academies. The Spartans Battalion Leadership Academy out of Pleasant Grove High School.
The Spartans, yeah, that's a new program that has been started and is doing quite well in this area of Alabama, is particular leadership academies of particular kinds in the various high schools, and you actually go to the high school specifically for that. So this is Army, JROTC, and it's focusing, as you would imagine, on confidence, growth, and motivating young people to be better citizens, regardless of whether they go forward into the military.
Correct. So a lot of the skills that they learn here are preparing them for college, even if they, I don't know what percentage of them want to join the military, but simply the skills that they learn that they need to be able to participate in a parade allows them to operate as a member of a team. So they already have that element when they go into the workforce. They know how to operate as a team. They know how to support each other. The Pleasant View Missionary Baptist Church, Elvin Johnson is the director. Lewis Gilbert is the junior co-director. Pleasant View Missionary Baptist Church wants you to embrace, respect, honor, and appreciate our military veterans for their service to our nation, country, community, and family.
And it seems that the order of the day is surprise talks between Melissa and various people in the crowd. I don't know where she is, but I am told that she has somebody that she wants to show us. Melissa? It's still a surprise.
That's the surprise.
Oh, this is a good one. We were talking to you about the Red Cross, and she has someone to talk with you about that. Are you ready to go, Melissa?
I sure am.
Go for it.
I've got Yolanda Gainwell with us.
Put your mic up.
Oh, so sorry. I've got Yolanda Gainwell with us. She's the division executive for service to the armed forces for the American Red Cross. And I just wanted to know, today is super meaningful for all of us, but why is it meaningful for you?
Today is so meaningful, not just for me, but for the American Red Cross, because over 140 years ago, our founder, Clara Barton, started the American Red Cross on the battlefield, supporting our wounded, ill, and injured service members. And here we are continuing that legacy 140 years later, getting to continuing taking care of our service members, whether it's in a conflict zone or at the VA Medical Center. And personally, I'm a military spouse of 25 years, and so I get to work and serve my community and our veterans every day, and it's just an honor.
We are honored to speak with you today. It's great to meet you and hear what you do for the Red Cross, and I just want to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, and thank you, Melissa. The veterans of foreign wars, you're looking at the Alabama Department Commander.
Close friend of mine, Danny Sample.
Yes.
And
Yep, there he is.
Danny's driving.
Hey, Danny. Really?
As the nation's oldest serving major war organization, the VFW has an impeccable and long-standing record of service and stewardship. More than 4 million patriotic Americans, both members and non-members, entrust the VFW with financial contributions and dedicate millions of volunteer hours. Academic scholarships have been awarded to thousands of veterans and service members. VA-accredited VFW representatives across America and abroad help veterans fight for the VA benefits they have earned. The VFW Auxiliary is one of the nation's oldest veteran service organizations, and their members are relatives of those who have served in a foreign conflict. Nearly 470,000 members in more than 3,500 auxiliaries nationwide. And we'll see, because the VFW, Veterans of Foreign War, is one of our larger organizations, you'll see a lot of different posts come through. The one in the old truck here, I belong to him as a charter member, the Lance Corporal Thomas Rivers. Memorial Post 12185 in Alabaster.
Where's the truck normally? We can talk about that later. More of Lance. I can't say it. Lance Corporal.
Lance Corporal Thomas Rivers.
Yes. It's a big one. That is actually the newest, the first one in 30 years, isn't it?
Yes,
it's
and it's got to be one of the fastest growing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I can officially say that, but
y'all are cool.
But they are one of the fastest growing.
Yes. They also, from what I understand, the good thing about it is that they focus on welcoming everyone. They gather, actually, down at Siluria Brewing.
They do.
In Alabaster, and they're there for people who just need someone who can relate and talk about things that they've all experienced.
Kelly Ingram, Post 668.
Mm-hmm.
That one is downtown. That's actually where the parade starts at. So they're so gracious with their time and space. Kelly Ingram, Post 668. The driver is Preston Hard, an Army combat veteran, and the commander of Post 668.
And I saw an itty bitty in the back seat that is probably going to remember this parade for a while.
Now we see the Magic City Dimes, the 205 Dimes Dance Company. The 205 Dimes are a majorette dance company known here in Birmingham, created by Mr. Jarvis Ward in 2019. They're known as the sparkle that shines around the city. The Dimes also enjoy giving back to their communities and the city of Birmingham in many ways.
Oh my goodness. That's not just these three. There are some that are really going at it behind the car. So you're going to see.
Keeping that energy up for an entire parade route takes a lot of training.
And fewer years than most. So you're busy. Well, Melissa is back in the crowd once again. Apparently, everybody's chatty today. It's not always this way.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, who are you wanting to show us right now?
Okay, I've got General David Burford with me, and we're thankful that you've given us a little time to speak to us and tell us what is so important about Veterans Day for you.
Well, my dad was a World War II veteran. He died when I was a child, and he told me the stories that kind of led me to where I am today. I spent 38 years in the Army. I'm a Birmingham native and also Vice President of the Veterans Day Foundation, which produces the parade and the dinner last night. So veterans are my life, and what I do in my retirement years is devote my hours to helping veterans in need, whether it's a vehicle, a place to stay, a meal, a doctor appointment. There are a lot of people out there that need help, a lot of homeless veterans. We're trying to take care of them here in Birmingham.
Absolutely. Thank you for your devotion to helping those veterans.
Absolutely.
All right, back to you guys.
Dave's not going to say it himself, but he is also a Special Forces legend. One of the first people deployed to Afghanistan outright.
And he has no idea we're talking to him.
No,
Are
he has
you
no
serious?
idea we're talking about him. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's a Special Forces legend.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, we, in the moment we saw the Lakeshore Foundation car drive by, look up Lima Foxtrot. It's something to behold. And now all of the Girl Scouts are here. And
and they are excited. And they're
Well, of
also
course they are.
accompanied by
You're
some of the
right.
Birmingham Stallions players and cheerleaders. The Girl Scouts of North Central Alabama.
Alabama. Hey.
Wherever they are,
Yeah.
their mission is create girls of courage, confidence, and character. Their girls spend time serving the communities and developing into leaders of the future.
And cookie time is coming up, but
Yes, it is. Cookie
just-
season starts December 11th.
Yes, it does. I'm just thrilled that the Stallions were able to hop out or trot out and be with us today in the parade. And here's the Greater Alabama Council Boy Scouts of America. And there are many. I think David Self is with the ones that are coming from, well, the main chunk that comes from. Okay, so their headquarters is out on 459 near Liberty Park.
Yes, and they have a Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have a wall that mimics the Vietnam Wall, except
awesome.
It looks like that. It's the black mark granite, and it's everyone who has become an Eagle
Gotcha.
Scout.
Okay.
And it grows and grows and grows, and it's quite impressive.
And there are Boy Scouts of every shape and size out here today, along with their parents. And in spite of the weather, a lot of smiling faces, a lot of happy people.
We have just been informed that the producer, the producer today,
Our illustrious producer, has a brother whose name is inscribed on said wall.
He's an Eagle Scout. Congratulate him. Oh my God.
Oh, they love the handheld cam.
I'm laughing. I don't think anybody's ever hammed it up for that before.
Yeah, right?
Cool.
They're really getting involved with it. The handheld cam is the way to go.
So really,
A lot of different things that Boy Scouts do. You know, obviously their main focus is to just promote good ethics, good community service. A lot of Boy Scouts go on to military careers. A lot of them go on to be leaders of corporations and companies. It's a very good program to be involved with.
it does so much more than we even have time to talk about.
Unfortunately, we do not.
I know my brother was an Eagle Scout, and when they were in basic training, it was hilarious how fast he was able to get everything taken care of before everyone else. So we have Phillips Academy of Dance, the Junior Lionettes and Lionettes, and they are, I said, part of Phillips Academy. And we're trying to tell you just a little bit more about them. It seems to me that this is a fairly new program, that they started out with about 8 girls, and now they have 25 in both age groups. And they use dance the same way that many groups use dance to instill so many more ways of being good adults.
Yeah, people think of dance and they just think it's people having a good time and enjoying themselves. But when you watch these girls closely, you'll see that everything that they're doing is a coordinated movement that takes a lot of precision, that takes a lot of training. And so by being involved in something that may seem as simple on the surface as a dance team, they're learning a lot of really good core values about how to become, you know, good stewards, good citizens going forward.
And to move as one, to be part of a group,
is a difficult thing.
Yeah, to coordinate it. And now we have Army veteran
Sergeant First Class McKinney.
That's Jules Pup Corner. Y'all, that's just one of my favorite titles coming through the parade today. The other one hasn't gotten to us yet, but yes, Jules Pup Corner.
They rehome and provide adoption services for emotional support canines for veterans.
And they have several veterans in her family, and Jewel just wanted to get out and be in the parade and say so.
And of course, because again, a lot of veterans own Corvettes, we've got the Bama Joy Riders, Wayne McKinney, Army veteran, and Jeff Henley, Navy veteran. The Bama Joy Riders Corvette Club is a nonprofit organization based out of Bessemer, Alabama. They have an annual Christmas toy drive and countless other volunteer events they do throughout the year.
And I think they were the second entry in the parade this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Got on it quick and early.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to be in it. Good grief. Honey, close your doors. You're in the street.
No, they paid extra for those doors. They're gull wing doors? Suicide doors? I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're not standard. They paid a lot of money to have their car look like that, and they're very pretty.
Those are not making mama happy doors, I can tell you that. So, my goodness.
Well, most people don't buy a Corvette for the safety features.
True. Very true. Okay.
Now it's time for my favorite part of the parade.
Oh, yeah?
The fire trucks.
Really?
The old fire trucks.
Well, I'll let you absorb it. Well, we want to thank everyone. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We need to talk about our friends. Jerry Northington, Gene Northington, Lewis McDonald, Dave Williams, and Richard Meyer are all veterans that are with the Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association.
And I'm still a kid at 37 years old, and all kids love fire trucks. And if you're going to have a fire truck, have an old historic fire truck.
With a ladder, hook and ladder, and a steering wheel on the back.
Hopefully they'll bring that one this year. The Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association is a non-profit organization in Birmingham whose mission is to preserve the history and traditions of firefighting profession and to honor all of those who have served in that profession. As you can imagine, with a lot of, military members, when they get out, those skills translate well over to being firefighters or police officers. So we have a lot of veterans in the firefighting community, and so gracious of them to bring out such just beautiful, beautiful, rare pieces of early firefighting memorabilia.
And there's something I want to tell you. Go to the Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association website, svfaa.com, and look at their projects. And the cutest fire truck you ever saw
is this one right here.
It was 1966. It's a stubby little thing. I know Matt's making fun of me, but
I like this fire truck. You drive it from the back. I mean, come on. It takes 2 people to drive it. That's how big it is.
Well, he likes the big one.
This is early on. This is the only way that you could get a vehicle of that size through a crowded city street. So they were popularized in cities like San Francisco, where you had narrow streets but needed access to 10th, 11th floors. So one of my favorites.
Well, the one I like looks like a little tugboat. Cute, cute, cute.
Another thing veterans like to buy is Jeeps. So you'll see a lot of Jeeps here today.
Oh, the Iron City Wranglers. Look at the people sitting up on the first 4 Jeeps.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah, those are marksmen who did so well in their competitions that they are actually now training to consider competing for the Olympics.
Yes, and I believe the girl in the red, white, and blue hat is the one that actually is Olympic qualified through shooting.
And she looks so mild.
Carly Seabrook, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Carly and Mr. Grayson Ellis, Miss Emily Buck, and Mr. Bryce Newman. They trained at the Shelby County Shooting Sports Association. And the Iron City Wranglers are carrying them through the parade today. It's a Jeep group made up of current and veteran military and law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, nurses, local patriots who share the same love for their family and the community. So whether it's turning out for our parade or conducting a fundraiser or escorting a fallen hero to their final resting place, the Iron City Wranglers always ready to serve, no matter what the mission might be. And today, the mission was carrying those sharpshooters.
And as you can see by way of, a lot of these are decorated with military decals and, remembrances of the branches of service that these people served in. Because, again, a lot of veterans own Jeeps. The Jeep was created during World War II to more effectively transport troops across open terrain. And as you can see here, that tradition has continued. Jeep.
General purpose.
No, doesn't stand for anything. Most people think it actually tracks back to one of the characters from Popeye.
Are you kidding?
Yep.
Who?
The one called Jeep. It was because he could change into all kinds of different creatures. No one's going to get that reference under the age of 65. But, but yeah, apparently that's what the Jeep was, original Jeep was for, or named. But a lot of veterans buy Jeeps. Haven't used Jeeps in the military for quite some time because we've gone to the Humvee, but there's still that love of the original 1940s World War II. You can look at the grill and tell it's a Jeep, and so a lot of veterans will buy them and do all sorts of fancy things to them, and then they form clubs like you see here, and those clubs will do things like drive from one city to the next and use the proceeds from that to donate to a veterans organization. So that's why you've got so many Jeeps out here today, because they go all around the the state, just helping any way that they can.
So we know that Melissa has somebody that she would like to speak with, and I'm determined to find out where they are before I say it. There she is. Oh my goodness. Let's see who she has. Melissa?
Hi, I've got Brigadier General Grisham. He's the Deputy Commander of the Theater Sustainment Command at Fort McClellan, Alabama National Guard. He's got a great message that he'd like to give to any of our viewers here today.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for recognizing our veterans. And for me as a senior leader in the Alabama National Guard, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here today as we recognize our veterans, both past and present. And what a great event for the community to come together and organize such an awesome event to recognize our great Americans. And we want to thank the community for that.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for your service. We love talking to you just here. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, General.
Great that we have so many veterans not only on the parade route itself, but standing along the route. It's an opportunity for veterans to come out and have a little bit of camaraderie. You show up to the parade, you get to see some cool stuff, and then you also meet people in the crowd that you may know. Coming up next, we've got the Alabama Aerospace and Aviation High School. The AAHS is the first aviation-focused free public charter school in Alabama dedicated to creating the aerospace and aviation leaders of tomorrow. The school welcomed its first class of approximately 100 ninth grader students in August 2022 and will be adding a new group of students each year until enrollment reaches approximately 550.
Do you remember seeing the first advertisements? Are you interested in an aerospace career? Are you interested in aviation? Are you interested in aeronautical engineering? This high school is for you.
Yeah.
And they rounded up,
It's a career-focused curriculum designed to give students a direct path to the aviation industry through advanced STEM education and intentionally diverse school community.
And with Huntsville right up the road, NASA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And so here we have the Royal All-Stars of Birmingham dance team under the direction of Jemiah Cook. They, as we have said before, they're instilling the art of dance in their youth to keep them in a positive environment, mentoring them, lifelong champions. They want to strive for greatness while supporting the community. And today they're here because they love their troops. They have military members in their families, and they are proud to be in the Veterans Day Parade. Royal All-Stars.
They are moving around for as cold as it is. Good energy for them. Coming into the screen now is Vet to Vet of Birmingham, Marine John Bankhead. Vet to Vet is a service organization helping veterans with disability benefits and have meetings of any alcohol or substance abuse. We help with many adjustment services needed to re-enter civilian life. Their motto is reach one, teach one.
Yeah, some of the organizations they say, we're here, call us, we're here. And then there are the other ones like this, Vet to Vet. And here it says, in honor of our beloved U.S. Marine John D. Bankhead. Vet to Vet, the fact that they go specifically one-on-one to help.
Right. A lot of veterans don't want to ask for help. They don't want to be seen as needing help, and they keep that to themselves. And that's why we have issues with substance abuse in the veteran community. So Vet to Vet is a great outsource for them.
Some people prefer to just shake it all out. The Birmingham Dynamic Sparkles dance team.
Youth organization aiming to work with all kids, especially those in disadvantaged circumstances, to mentor and teach them self-expression through all genres of dance. The team provides dancers with an opportunity to develop sportsmanship, character, and competitiveness, and the necessary determination, dedication, and commitment to be a productive member of this group, as well as society.
And I thought they were just dancing. They make it look so much fun. They're literally dancing in the streets.
They're also chanting too, so there's a lot of different elements.
I give these outfits an A.
They are some of the more colorful that we've had, for sure. Well, Veterans Day, cars, Veterans Day. Now we've got the Magic City Chevys of Birmingham, Alabama, headed up by Staff Sergeant Lonnie Myrick, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant R.J. Donald, U.S. Marine Sergeant Terry Woods. Magic City Chevys of Birmingham is a car and truck club doing community service, feeding the homeless in Birmingham, and supporting breast cancer awareness.
And this is one of my favorite shots of the whole parade. I love it when we're able to get down low on the street and see these people going by.
Let's see if we'll get a few engine revs.
What's the motion for it? I know how to make a truck driver honk his horn.
The truck driver horn.
This doesn't work. It's for motorcycles.
And they can't see our feet, so we're not going to be able to do that.
Magic City Chevys.
Car clubs are a really good way for veterans that don't necessarily want to be affiliated with the other veteran organizations. And that's something that's important to be said, that there are ways for veterans to reach out, connect with other veterans without having to go to a veteran service organization. You know, you can join a car club and discover that you may have served with someone overseas in the same car club.
Tell me, you know what the...
Okay, so on the front of this bus, it says Tactical Operations Command Disaster Response Team.
That's right, Disaster Response Team. And
Yep.
Dirty, Vet Dirty.
Vet
That's
Dirty
what
is
they
a
do.
non-profit organization made up of veterans serving our communities in the Gulf States regions after natural disasters, from cleaning to search and rescue. Veteran Disaster Relief Team Incorporated.
And they will drop and go.
Yes, they will, because there was a hurricane a few years ago that hit a buddy of mine from the Marine Corps' house in Lake Charles, Louisiana. They helped clean it up. There was a buddy of mine in Tennessee that was affected by the tornadoes in Nashville. They helped clean it up.
And you didn't?
Well, I told them how to get in touch with my buddies.
I'm playing. That's it. That is very cool, actually.
They had a bus. I didn't have a bus, so I stayed home.
Yeah. Well, the bus doesn't look like it's worried about staying clean.
No.
And you're looking at the Panthers cheer squad and with Coach Taisha Howard. They proudly represent Princeton Alternative Elementary School, which is a magnet school in the Birmingham City School District, in support of our veterans. Princeton Elementary prides itself on developing leaders for a global society, and the squad's made up of 26 athletes, grades 2 through 5. And the principal is Mr. Bruce Jackson. The team's coached by Taisha Howard. And together they can, together they will, and to grow, serve, and lead. So, Summit Media has
More
someone.
importantly, Julian Logan.
Yes.
Julian Logan did 3 tours, Iraq, Kuwait, and Afghanistan. Retired in 2014 as an E6. She's a valuable part of their promotions team here in Birmingham.
Thank you to Julian. And the American Heritage Girls, they are a troop. I think we have 5 of them in this area, 5 local troops.
That's right.
And they get together a lot like Girl Scouts, except they're focusing on building women of integrity through service to God, family, community, and country. It's a lot of fun and a lot of sparkles.
Their program across the nation and globe to participate in badge programs, service projects, leadership opportunities, and outdoor experiences, all with an emphasis on Christian values and family involvement.
I know we're looking at the Shriners Dune buggies. I'm hoping that we've got the leaping. We do.
We do.
We do.
So the Zamora Shriners are Birmingham's oldest chapter of the Shriners International. Shriners are a Masonic fraternity based on fun, fellowship, and the Masonic principles of brotherly love, relief, and truth. And you may not even be able to hear us at this point.
He can hear us.
Because they have their Shriner buggies going full volume.
And he's waiting.
There we go. In 1922, the Shriners founded the first Shriners Hospital for Children in Shreveport, Louisiana. Since then, this unique philanthropy has grown to an extraordinary healthcare system with 22 facilities across the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
It's almost like he's trying to throw the one on the back off. He acts like he knew.
Well, the guy on the back is what helps keep him. So when they pop the wheelie, the guy in the back is what helps keep it as a wheelie, so it doesn't come back down. So he's actually leaning back too.
Oh my goodness. You know what this signals? This is the Birmingham Fire and Rescue. And this signals the end of our parade.
It does.
We have one more entry.
The bus that you saw right before the fire engine was Glenn Blanchard. Following veterans are on their bus. Carly Anderson from the Army, Michael Brooks from the Army, Elijah Blanchard from the Air Force, Devon Glenn from the Army, Willie Lowe from the Navy, Wayne Williams from the Navy, Gary Lavender from the Army, Michael McClure from the Army, and Herman Mack.
And we are going to have to say goodbye until next time.
Next year. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of our parade, but as you were saying to me this morning, our parade is always available online.
The thing that we want to remind you is that you need to consider Wreaths Across America, which is the second week in December. And you also want to check out our website, nationalveteransday.org, throughout the year, because we have various things being developed, various things going on. And one of them, as a matter of fact, is developing a history program so that students who are trying to do reports, book reports and things like that for school are able to check out the resources that we have, particularly on the veterans of the year that we have each and every year. But just stay tuned.
I think Melissa's rounded up somebody for us down on the street.
She's ruining my finish. So we're going to have another finish in just a moment. Melissa, who have you found?
Hi, I promise it's worth it. This is Pat Johnson. He is a platoon leader for Mission Continues Birmingham. It's a service platoon. And he has a wonderful little guest here.
Oh, my word.
This is Denver Wayne. And we want to know, how did Denver Wayne get his name and what does it mean?
So Denver is the name of Denver Pyle from the Andy Griffith Show, who played Briscoe in the Darlings. And so Denver is the name of Denver Pyle, which is Briscoe Darling. And so Briscoe is the name of Denver's brother. And so you got Briscoe and Denver Wayne Johnson, so he's a little mini pig, and he really is part of this process to help bridge the gap in the communication for getting to, get veterans involved. It's really just a conversation starter.
Awesome.
That's
so great.
Is he a support pig?
Does he qualify as a support pig?
So you can actually create a support pig. So you can actually create a therapy pig. So there's some training involved. There's some lessons that have to be taught. There's about a year or two of service that a pig has to go through in order to qualify. But yes, you can have an emotional support animal or a therapy animal out of a pig, and they're very compliant. They're very loving. They're very sweet. A lot of them can stay small if you work on their appetite, you work on their diet, and you really focus on where they're living and how they're living and stuff. And he's about a 95% litter box trained indoor pig.
Well, we are thankful for everything that he does to help take care of veterans. We're understanding that it takes several different things of all different sizes and shapes, several different people, and important things to make it happen.
I know that Denver needs to come over here and support me.
We should have Denver come and visit our house.
In the time being, we're going to say goodbye for now, but we will be back next year.
Rain or shine, hopefully we'll get a shine in one day.
Absolutely, and thank you so much to Melissa Fox for joining us this year.
Thank you to you for having me here again. I love it every year.
And thank you to you for having me here again. Yes, and we will see you next year. Happy Veterans Day.